Alright, welcome back everyone. We are in Season 3 of The Long Dark on our custom mode. I have not even checked my gear, I am just going to go straight for the gas station. Ah, beautiful sunrise. I do love the colors in this game. It takes your basic white in snow and just makes it interesting. And a lot of the color really comes through the sunrise and sunset, some of the animals, and some of the environments. Some of the inner environments too. I mean, granted, a lot of them are just, brown, but... Ooh, yes, I will take this. I'll take this. Ooh, we are freezing. Oh, I'll take that too. I might as well just raid this place while I'm here. Oh, yep, I'll take that. Boop. Give me the pry bar. A note left behind. We'll read it later. Because we're freezing. Search the trunk. Okay, and yep. Alright, we've done that car. And now we know that we've done that car. I do like the way the trees, kind of wave in the breeze too. Or I guess when you get close enough, they kind of flap in the breeze. Like they're trying to fly. Ooh, it is cold. Dang, I'll have to take a look at our... You know what? Instead of going to the gas station, I think I'm just going to go to this set of fishing huts up here. Because we are quite cold. And I want to get out of this. Oh, so in my last series, I was still playing early access. If you look out there, you can actually see where the ice starts to break off. It looks a lot more like a coast.
Finding someplace.
Yes, I know, honey.
Escape this cold.
I don't recall the subtitles being that big, but okay. Oh my gosh, we are freezing. So, why I don't like World of Warcraft? Because this is what you guys came here to see. Now, don't get me wrong. The basic video game formula, I don't have any problems with. And that is pretty much go here, fight this enemy, collect this thing, rinse and repeat. What I don't like about it in World of Warcraft is that on top of that being kind of all you do, in many cases, the game does not start at level 1. Why would the game not start at level 1? What kind of... That's ridiculous. You're paying for this game. You're paying monthly for this game. Like, first you gotta buy the disc, and then you gotta pay to play online, which is even more ridiculous. Because you're already paying for the internet on top of the game. You should not have to keep paying for the game when you already own it. That will forever be one of my things with video games. So it takes... World of Warcraft takes the basic video game formula and makes it the only thing that you play for hours. And then at level 80, the game starts. Like level 80.
Looks like this has been here a while.
Yeah, at level 80, the game starts. So why would that even remotely be interesting? And I was playing with close friends at the time. You know, they had like 10 of those free 10-day passes things, which is how I was able to play for 2 days. And they said, here, you can use, as many of these as you want. So I said, cool. And I used one while I was there at their place. And we would all play together. My best friend at the time even started a new character with me so that I would not be going solo on my own. And I was so freaking bored. I was so very bored. Like, man, you want to talk about a boring time. That was the most boring game I think I've ever played. With a few exceptions. And I mean very few. And even then, it's not even like an exception. It's on par with the others. Okay, so what are we looking at? We've got... Oh, this is why we're cold! Okay, so we need something to put on, so we're just going to go ahead and wear this right now. Ooh, we're going to wear this. And I've never found an... I don't think I've ever found an accessory. Okay, yeah, we've got very minimal clothing here. Good thing we found what we did. Yeah, because we're not even warming up in here. We're just cold. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next hut. I know there is a workbench back here. I don't know why this workbench is outside. That's kind of cool. Ooh, I'm glad we came to look. We got some good stuff here. All right, we'll check this. Ooh, a fire striker. Okay, we're going to go to the next hut. Or I guess the actual, sets of huts here. See if we can get out of this cold and find some warmer clothing. But yeah, that's why I don't like World of Warcraft. And if you like that kind of thing, good for you. Go have a good time. Just don't expect me to give the game any praise. That's not why I play a video game. because it takes away, like, video games in the beginning were, you know, time this jump, go grab this thing, go bring it back, and then that's all you did the entire game. You're basically just jumping, timing jumps, dodging obstacles, and
This will come in handy.
and you know, I can be Joel, and you know, doing fetch quests, and even then at the very beginning, I don't even think they were fetch quests, and that was your entire game. And in the beginning, that there's nothing wrong with that because you're just figuring video games out. But over time, we've learned to mask that as that function of the video game and make it more interesting. Why am I going to get these items? Why am I bringing them back? Why is this important? Why does my character care? And you know, with things like storyline, you know, it gets even you get even more of that because you know you're no longer limited to just your basics. Okay, we're getting a little warm. Oh, we're finally starting to warm up inside. That's good. How bad is our hypothermia risk right now? Still kind of bad. It's going down. Boy, my southern came out right now. Still kind of bad. Oh, man. Oh, yes, I live in the South, people. But it is going down as long as we're inside. And we're not doing too bad. I'll go ahead and start breaking down some curtains while I talk. Not with a hunting knife, though. But yeah, like, with the addition of things like storylines and character arcs and, you know, basically taking video games and not just making interactive art with some of them, but many of them, arguably, but also, like, interactive movies, in a sense. You know, the idea of going back to your basic formula of a fetch quest forever just doesn't do it for me. And I know that World of Warcraft has, like, a rich lore, and I applaud that. You know, if you can create a world where characters are constantly like, oh, well, look, listen to this new thing I found, and there's this thing that happened, and what if this thing actually happened, and there's, you know, fan theories and debates. It's wonderful that you can do that. But when you can't actually interact with any of it, that's when you take me out of the equation. I'm a very story-driven individual. Don't get me wrong, I love my platformers, I like the occasional puzzle, I like games like this where there is no story except for Wintermute, which I'm not going to get into just yet. And, oh, geez, my cat is meowing. I must save her from the door. From the open door. Tamarin, can you please shush? Oh, my gosh. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but she's meowing like she's dying. You know what's wrong? She wants to play. Hi. Well, at least you brought the string all the way to me this time. Ah! Hang on. All right. Look, are you going to bring it back if we play fetch? Yes, I'm making you guys sit through this torture with me. Because she does this at 2 in the morning. And she has, like, the world's most annoying meow. Or at least she has... Okay. When she's not begging like this, her meow is cute. But she has the perfect pitch that can wake me from a dead sleep. I am convinced you could have me on the operating table, and if she meows near me, I'm waking up. Like, there ain't no drug powerful enough. Alright. Go get it. No, don't. I'm not helping you find it. You got to go get it. But yeah, when you create a world that's rich with lore and you don't give the player the ability to interact with that lore, that's when you lose me as a gamer. Because oh my gosh, Tamarin, shush! I'm making a video here, and for once I'm not editing you out because you're annoying, and the people need to know that you are annoying. I love my cats, but she is annoying. Well, there's some good grammar for you. I love my cats, but she is annoying. But yeah, that's when you take out me as a gamer, because I like stories, I like understanding why my characters are doing certain things, even if the story is something very basic. You know, if there's story, then chances are good I'm going to want it. There are some exceptions. Anyone who knows me well enough knows that I don't like supernatural stuff. And just to beat down all the people who are going to be, you know, well, technically this one thing is supernatural. When I say the word supernatural, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Zombies, demons, angels, werewolves, vampires, all that crap. That's all traditionally supernatural stuff. So, you know, bite me. And I do that, I say that, you guys, because one of my art teachers, I've had many art teachers because art colleges, but I pointed out one day that I don't like supernatural things in class, and he was like, well, technically talking cats could be considered supernatural. And I'm like, that's okay, there's a difference between supernatural and fantasy. You're just being pedantic. You're being an ick day. So shove it. So I tend to do the same thing whenever I'm mentioning supernatural crap now, because there was no good reason to just... I'm sorry, kids, cover your ears. There was no good reason to just be a dick in class. Like, you're the teacher, calm down. Oh, good, it looks like the wind is lightened up, but it's still really freaking cold. Anyway. So, I'm a very story-driven gamer. I don't like supernatural stuff. But I do like, my platformers. I like some puzzles. I like mysteries. And I love games with multiple endings. If your game has multiple endings, count me in. So, I'm a big fan of games like Heavy Rain. I love Detroit Become Human. I still haven't seen all of those endings. I really wish that this is the flattest baseball cap, I swear. Like, baseball cap, and then you move it, and it's just like, no. But yeah, I do love that video game. I still have not seen all the endings to it. I still haven't even seen all the endings to Chrono Trigger, and I've had that game for years. So... But, I'm not giving it up because I haven't seen all the endings yet. And plus, it's just kind of a fun game. I do like how well decorated this one cabin is. That is... Oh, that's lighting. Okay, I thought that the side of that deer's face was white for some reason. Anyway. Yeah, multiple endings are always a positive for me in a video game. So that's always a thing for me. I'm always up for that. But... I'm not big on a lot of first-person shooters, and I know that they don't all play the same. And I say this because I'm also a fan of Dynasty Warriors, and anyone who is a fan of Dynasty Warriors knows that technically it is the exact same game, but there are still different mechanics. The way they present the story is different. The way they redesign the characters is different. So there's just enough different in this series that is exactly the same that you're drawn to keep going. Because when I first got into that series. I popped into GameStop to get a different game, and someone said, Dynasty Warriors 5 is coming out. And I'm like, what's the difference between 5 and 4? And they're like, more characters. And that was it. Like, that really was it. Like, that's all she had to sell me on. And I'm like, why would that be the selling point? If all I'm getting is more characters, then I might as well just stick with Dynasty Warriors 4, because that's where I started. But I took a risk and caved, and I haven't gone back. It wasn't until Dynasty Warriors 9 that I finally was done with the series. That's because 9 changed everything, but that's a rant for another day. Or possibly just for later in the video. But, you'll take I know first-person shooters are not the same game because... don't all play the same because Dynasty Warriors games don't all play the same. Like, the core mechanics of the game are the same, but they'll add things that are different. They'll add characters that have new movesets. They might change the way they present something in a story. They might take away alternate endings to give you something more historically accurate, and you have to take that phrase very, very, very loosely. So I know that by the same extension, first-person shooters don't play the same way. So, like, Call of Duty is going to play a little differently than... I know it's technically not a first-person shooter, but Team Fortress. It's not going to play the same as Primal Carnage. It's not going to play the same as GoldenEye for the 64, or even the recent ones. Even remakes of old games don't play the same, with a few exceptions. And even then, that with a few exceptions is just in recent years. So, good grief, we're still really cold. All right, we're going to get to the gas station first, and I'll just keep rambling on the way. And then we'll come back and start looking for stuff, because we need to cure this hypothermia, and I want a base. But yeah, so I know first-person shooters play differently. But a lot of them feel the same to me personally. And it's just like with WoW. With WoW, a lot of people really like World of Warcraft. I'm not one of those people. A lot of people really like first-person shooters. I'm not one of those people either. Between the two, I'm more likely to play a first-person shooter because I have many fond memories of going multiplayer with my friends and family over first-person shooters. So that's always a thing. And I know that first-person shooters have good story. I mean, shoot, Portal is nothing but a first-person shooter, technically, but it adds, rich characters and, really good puzzles, and, the second one added multiplayer, and there's a lot of different, unique challenges to that game, so it's not like I don't get it. It's just, in general, those usually aren't for me. So I'm going to be playing... I'm the one that goes for games like, Horizon Zero Dawn, or The Last of Us, or... what is it? There's like 5 million games. Assassin's Creed. some more so than others. I gotta admit, with the latest Assassin's Creed, with Odyssey, I've enjoyed that story so much. And, like, it's all this story in the past that I've enjoyed. Because I've got my own feelings about the Assassin's Creed series as a whole, which I'm sure I'll be getting into. Because I'm on a roll. I'm really energetic. Let's go. And so, yeah, y'all are going to have a rambling rendezvous for the opening to Season 3 here. But, man, it's freaking cold out here. Our day is half... Good grief. It's a video game, and I'm still feeling just a little bit gloomy. I am such a freaking plant, you guys. Oh, I should probably pick up at least one rock in case I run into... Well, I shouldn't run into a wolf for the first 24 hours, but just in case there's a glitch. Just in case. My instincts say to pick up that rock. Anyway, I was rambling about a certain thing. Assassin's Creed. Well, we'll jump back to Assassin's Creed. And I've got a pin in The Last of Us I'll remove later. So, you know, when I got the first game, what actually attracted me to the very first Assassin's Creed when it came out and was being advertised was not the plot, it was not the setting, it was how well you could interact with the crowd around you. You know, I saw the I don't remember if it was a tech demo or just a basic gameplay intro or what, but at the time, it looks like you could climb any building, and yeah, you technically could, but you had to follow a path. I didn't know that at the time of this video. That wouldn't have made a difference to my interest in the game anyway. Sorry, I'm misclicking because there's a thing on my actual physical screen that's making me think that's the reticle. There we go. I think I got rid of it. There. I was clicking here because on my screen this is where it was whenever the actual reticle was there. But I saw the way that, you know, you would rear up on the horse as Altair, and the crowd would gasp and kind of mumble to each other going, well, what's wrong? And, you know, if you were running down the street too much, they'd be like, where's he going? What's going on? And you'd climb the building and people would gasp, and I'm like, that's really entertaining. I want that. Don't go for the vehicle. Go for the gas station. You're cold. You're cold, Mondevue. Go. So that was what really attracted me to that. And then I don't know how many people thought their system was glitching, but I first got the game on the PS3. And when I first popped it in, and you have that weird animus effect going on, where you have all the, like, faceless people coming at you, and, like, the screen is doing all kinds of wonky things. Y'all, I thought my game was busted. And I was like, okay, I'm still able to move. Okay, there are voices. And then you pop out into the modern storyline, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this took place in modern times. Okay, this is new. What's going on? And it was just kind of a fun curveball, and I've been on board ever since. Brotherhood is still my favorite. Well, not anymore. Odyssey is now my favorite game. But of the original concept, and I call it that, and you'll find out why in a minute. Of the original concept, Brotherhood is my favorite. I really enjoyed the story. Ezio is still my favorite assassin. Because neither Cassandra nor Alexios are assassins. Sorry, guys. Spoilers. But at least not by the series definition. But you know, Ezio became my favorite, which is funny because I did not like him at first. I was like, oh, this guy's such a freaking womanizing prick. And then he just grew on me because of all the stuff that he went through. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I can get behind this. We're finally starting to heal that hypothermia. Yeah, that was getting up there. Ooh, that was getting up there. 40%. Anyway, we'll go and start raiding the base here and setting things up. Since it did start us off here, I'm not sure if we'll go to Mystery Lake or if we'll just go to the big base. You know, I think going to the big base... pardon me, yawning, because 2:30. We'll probably go to the big base later. And the Trapper's Cabin is just going to have to be one of those we swing by it places. Because it started us off in the medium base. Because the only other really large base is up in freaking Milton, and y'all know how I feel about that right now. Ooh, another fire striker. This is why it pays to break down the cardboard boxes whenever you can. I hate this can right here because I always want to pick it up, but I can't. It's part of the environment. It's a really good fake out. So I will give the devs props there. It is a really good, well-placed fake out, and it bugs the crap out of me that I can't pick it up. Nothing actually on the shelves this time. But yeah, I'll probably be going into a little bit of spoiler territory with the Assassin's Creed talk. Yay, bedroll. At least for anyone who has not played it recently or who has been trying to avoid the story because they want to do it on their own time. Sorry, turn away now. You know, this is your spoiler warning. It's been years. I'm sorry. Yeah, what?
I think I can use this.
Ooh. Light shell. Why is it called a light shell? Maybe because it's thin AF. What the? Y'all, I have never looked at the underside of the clothing before. And I believe there's a reason for that. No. This is, I am discomfort. This is uncomfortable. This looks kind of like an alien face. Like the sleeves are the eyes, and the opening at the bottom is a mouth, and it's just like, oh my gosh, why? Okay. Oh, it is late. It is so very late. Ugh, quit yawning. Did I yeah, I checked the corner. Alright, so we'll check this. I'm going to go over this before I pop back into my Assassin's Creed rant.
Handy.
Because I want to go ahead and raid all the things and cure my hypothermia while I'm in here. Ooh. Ooh. Newsprint. More lantern fuel. Let's store the burnable object with the flammable liquid. That's a good idea. Up, scrap metal. And what's in this drawer? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, good. I'm glad we're coming across drawers that have nothing, because this feels more like the Long Dark and less like the big handout, because that's how my last custom game kind of felt.
I'll take it.
Guys, we have the hacksaw. It is so hard to get this thing. I wish there was a jump button just so I could spam it right now, because we have the hacksaw. Okay, cool. I'm definitely glad I did something about that. But we don't have a hatchet. I would really like a hatchet. Oh, cool. Simple tools. Alright, did I check this drawer? Yes, I did. Did I check? Yep, okay. Oh yeah, the hacksaw means that I can take down the metal shelves now. Like, burp! It'll take me forever, but I can do it. Okie dokie. So let's search this container.
Nobody needs this anymore.
More clothing! My clothing is wet. That's unfortunate. I think this will give us better shielding. Yeah, my clothing's wet, so you know what? We're gonna just drop, because we should still be just warm enough in here that we can just there we go. And I will drop the shoes too, because they are wet. There we go. That one actually is a very important realistic survival tip. If your clothing gets wet and you're in the snow, you're not going to have a good time. Alright, so search to this. Ooh, I'm going to grab that. I'm going to break this down because this is just in the way. Yay, our hypothermia risk is healed. And I think the wind's picking up. Yeah, I think the wind is picking up a little bit. Oh, there's another can under here. Alright. Oh, this does activate in the Aurora. I tested that when I was playing my my private file. So when we get an Aurora, that will definitely pop up. And
This stuff will come in handy.
yay, we have something for our hands. Okay, so we have enough of a complete item that we're not SOL. So we're going to finish searching here. I'm almost out of time. And then I'll get back onto my, ooh. Why would you put a soda? That's a weird place for a soda. I'll get back to my little Assassin's Creed rant. We'll go ahead and open up the lockers.
I think I can use
Whoa! I could be a Gundam. I'm sorry, but that's what it looks like. Still, though, this is a good find. I've never had any of these. Will keep your feet very warm at the expense of mobility. So these are freaking heavy, but that's okay. Whoa. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. These look really cool. Sweet. Oh, there we go.
Come in handy.
All right, so we have a lot of good stuff. That's a lot of good clothing right there. Even if it's just footwear. Oh, yes. Footwear can be difficult to find. And we have backup handwear, too. More of this.
I'll take it.
I forgot that this place creaks so freaking much. Granted, you know, metal wind, it's gonna creak. But still, I'm kind of like, who's in here? What happened? Why? Storm Lantern. That kind of sounds like a... That kind of sounds like it could be a Transformer name. Or a really awkward warrior cat name. Storm Lantern from Two-Leg Place Clan. Because that's a thing. Yeah. Aha, I see you hiding back there. The rifle ammunition. Oh, and I think that's a sewing kit up top.
What?
Snappy.
Here.
We have soda. Have you not seen... Okay, I'm going to stop there because I was going to make a smart aleck remark and my mouth was just getting way ahead of my brain. So, alright. I do believe that searching these cabinets will be the last of this base, and then we'll call it. And I will see you guys in the next video where, even though it has nothing to do with what's going on, I'm going to continue my Assassin's Creed rant.